All right, welcome back everybody. This is going to be the third video when it comes to intrusion detection system. A lot of content in this week, so I just want you to kind of get the main ideas here in regards to the intrusion detection system and securing your environment. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into just a couple of these. We're not going to go through all these slides. I will upload these slides for you. But basically, so after we have these firewalls and intrusion detection systems, we need to have a security event management. So all these logs need to go somewhere. Now, one of the most popular types of security event management is going to be a real-time analysis. A security event logs, a SIEM or a SIM, it depends on what you're using. It's just basically log correlation of the things that the firewall intrusion detection systems and things that are being seen throughout the network. So in security information management, long-term storage analysis and reporting, security information event management, data aggregation, correlation, alerting, dashboards, compliance, and retention. So the theme here is going to, things like log system, logarithm, Splunk. Those are tactical SIEMs. Even something like a security onion, which is a free SIEM that's open source. And again, I'm not asking you to sit there and try to remember all the different types. But again, if questions happen to come up, and I'd hopefully that you'd be able to remember a couple of the things here. Other weird stuff on the system, possible system compromises, things that you might notice, missing log files, network interface in promiscuous mode. The controller passes all traffic to the central processing unit. Normally used for packet sniffing is when you're usually want to do have your NIC, your network interface card, in promiscuous mode. Computer may read frames intended for other machines or network devices. Usually requires super user privileges, often used to diagnose network problems. So if you start seeing that, you start seeing your network card in promiscuous mode, you might want to start asking why that is. It may be somebody has compromised that system and is starting to to look through some of your logs. Intrusion detection and network at the network level. So deploying sensors at strategic locations, packet sniffing via TCP at routers, inspecting network traffic, watch for violations. So this is all in versus the host intrusion detection systems. You will try to monitor user activities, look for things that are out of the ordinary, possibly downloading a malicious software. And I think the main thing, again, I want you to understand these, but I'm not going to be asking a lot of the in-depth stuff. I might ask you, what's some of the what's two types of intrusion detection systems that are found on a network. That will be a network intrusion detection system and a host intrusion detection system. I might ask you what are the two different types as far as detection that would be signature based and anomaly based. So those are the types of things that I'm really probably going to be looking for. But think of it like this in regards to intrusion detection systems. Think about it like a spider. So you have sensors. So sensors are the ends of the legs of the spider. These little ends of the legs sit out throughout the entire network. And so when a fly hits the network, the spider can actually feel that through his feet, and that's what the sensors are for. And so the sensors are out there analyzing different sections of the network, and then all that stuff is actually sent back to the main node where all the logs go. It's going to collect all that information and actually send it on to something like a SIEM, like I was telling you about, for analysis. So here's a basic setup in regards to an intrusion detection system and the DMZ. We talked about this, a demilitarized zone. Now this is going to be in place if you were to have a web applications that you need customers or just general people want to visit your website. So you may have a DMZ set up here so people can go to your website, an intrusion detection system to kind of see, okay, what are people out here on the internet trying to do? Then you have a firewall set up here to try to protect your private network. in order to that nobody can get to it. And then you also have the public network internet here, the people that are trying to get in. You want to see the intrusion detection system. You want to see it out here, see what types of attacks people are trying to get into to get your private network. All right. I'm not going to ask a lot about that pre-processing stuff. Some of the differences between the firewall and the network intrusion detection system. Firewall does active filtering, and then intrusion detection system does passive monitoring. All right. So it's as far as the firewall is concerned, its main thing is to try to close off that activity. The intrusion detection system, the information is just passing through because it's looking through the types of things that may be on a signature or an anomaly. Hey, just so you can alert the system admin. Now, the difference in between the intrusion detection systems and the intrusion prevention systems. Just hang on with me just a little bit longer when it comes to this. I want to make sure you understand this distinction. It's very easy. What does an intrusion prevention system do? Some of the preventative measures. Basically, think of it like this. The intrusion detection system, it detects and it alerts. Hey, something's going on. I'm seeing this. I need to alert somebody. An intrusion prevention system does the same kind of thing, but then it actually does something. It actually blocks something. Say, hey, I see that this particular attack is matching this particular signature. I'm going to shut it down. It's going to try to hinder the attacks as much as possible, multiple layer defenses. So this is definitely something that you're going to want to have in place. In regards to all these types of attacks, you want to really try to think like a hacker. You want to think about like I was telling you before, the reconnaissance, the enumeration. You want to try scanning the different vulnerability scanners that are out there. You want to try to think like they do. Look at your network like they do, and try to patch those systems. Try to upgrade those systems, and try to close up as many holes as you can possibly get. The difference in between a hacker versus a cracker. A hacker performed good deeds, built and made the internet run, created Unix. Crackers' intentions are normally malicious, criminal in nature. Crackers steal data or create havoc. Lone wolves, disgruntled employees, hostile governments. They seek out and exploit vulnerabilities. Underground organizations, cyber ninjas sneak around, create chains of exploits, use multiple layers to hide. You need to be able to think like a hacker as you're trying to secure your environment. Understand their motives. What do they want? Are they just goofing around? Are they just trying to explore? Or are they another corporation trying to steal secrets? Are they trying to break in to steal your technology, your information? Are they being hired to? Are they hacktivists? They don't like what you stand up for. They don't like what your company is, and therefore they're trying to take you down because they don't have the same beliefs. They try to steal credit card information, breach networks. What are they looking for? So the problem with trying to secure an environment is stuff like when you have an environment that has a public wireless network, it can affect network security by stealing information from users. There's tools like Firesheet, tool used to steal browser cookies. If your public network is actually connected to your internal network, which basically means that an attacker could connect to your public network, your Wi-Fi network, and then if that's not segmented from your internal network, is they can connect to it, and then they'll start doing vulnerability scans and port scans, and trying to sniff out your network. So that's definitely something when you're securing your network, you need to make sure that you have that type of segmentation in place. So what are some of the symptoms of when these types of attacks happen? You start seeing through these logs that you're getting from the intrusion detection systems. You start or these sensors, large numbers of unsuccessful login attempts. Somebody's trying to brute force the logins. Packet inconsistencies. Packets coming from the outside that have a local network address. Someone's trying to spoof, but they're coming from the outside. Odd or unexpected system behavior can be a sign. This is going to come up with the anomaly intrusion detection. Changes to system clocks, servers going down, high CPU activities, all these types of things are symptoms of somebody might have broken into the network. So what is it that you can actually do? It's a balancing act when it comes to network security, and and users' needs. You need to have that multi-layer, and I keep saying this, protection in place. So you need to educate your people. You need to say, hey, look, when it comes to social engineering, these people are out there trying to trick you. They're going to call you. They're trying to get you to go to these fictitious websites. People need to know, hey, you know what? I don't need to be leaving my username and passwords on my desktops. I need to be able to secure this stuff. Implement intrusion detection systems, looking for those malware, those types of attacks, whether that be anomaly based or signature based, in order to try to stop those things. And it can be in line with the firewall scheme as well, or you can have an all-in-one device. So one of the things when you're trying to secure a network these days is that you have to be cognizant of mobile computing. People bring your own devices, people bringing in. Again, I bring it the blacklist, whitelist. Let me say that one more time. The blacklist, whitelist. This is important. Understand what this is. What is the blacklist, whitelist approach? Specifically allow only certain applications and devices, and everything else, you don't let through. You block everything and only whitelist certain applications and certain devices, and educate your users on your security policies. So here's a basic network diagram. You have some web here's the user with a web connection. They go out to the internet, or a user that usually is on the inside of a network. They're at home and they want to log in. They log in through the VPN. They hit the firewall here. Maybe there's a demilitarized zone, or they're passed on to the next gateway, and if they're a VPN user and they're logging into the systems in here. So this is just a basic look, and here's a user inside the secure network. So this is how most networks are set up, more or less. Obviously there's more equipment, but just to kind of get a good idea of what you're up against, what you're trying to manage. And the thing about it is, with trying to manage all this stuff, with all these different tools and all these different processes, you need to have security policies in place to kind of get everybody involved with, trying to keep your network secure. Not only to have these policies in place, but actually point out, hey, look, if you do this, then there are consequences for your actions. If you're not encrypting, credit card numbers and personal identifiable information, then there are consequences to your actions. Best thing is just, draft policies defining the network architecture, spell out responsibilities, communicate your expectations, and lay out the roles for your network administrator. Establish a security team. Provide clear policies for handling changes to overall network security. Have a risk analysis and vulnerability testing. I was talking about this with red team type exercises. There's different vulnerability scanners out there that'll just scan your entire network, like Nessus, and there's several other ones on here. There's some open source stuff that's out there as well. We're not going to dig into too much on digital forensics until we get to several weeks before the end of the semester. So I'm really not going to worry too much about that. I think at this point, that's all I really want you to know about intrusion detection systems. Some of the tools of the trade here. If you want everybody, there's several different links here. I will post up the slides for everyone to look at. Again, try Snort, try it out, see if what you like it. If you can download pfSense as the firewall that I mentioned. You can, and Snort is loaded onto it. Do some Googling around and play with it. We may try to include that on one of the hands-on activities, like I said. There's some freeware out there that if you want to try different things. OpenVAS is the vulnerability scanner, much like some of the paid versions that you can use for free. It's pretty neat, as far as scanning a network and seeing what's vulnerable. Tripwire, there is a free version of Tripwire. Tripwire just basically takes, it locates changes in certain files. That's really what it's looking at. And so, that's another little tool if you want to explore. These are just different links. Honeypots, and this is the last thing we'll kind of cover. A lot of times what corporations will try to do in order to try to secure their network is they'll set up honeypots. Honeypots are basically they're trying to keep an attacker away from like critical systems. So they'll make it look good. Try to get the attacker to attack that system. So the attacker, the system administrators can kind of say what kind of attacks are these attackers looking at? What are they trying to use against us? And so they can try to defend their real network to it. The honeypots are servers that are just sitting out there that don't have any really legitimate purpose, and they're just sitting out there to see what types of attacks that attackers are going after. So you might want to know that one for the midterm. But other than that, that's going to conclude this week. If you do have any questions about the midterm, please feel free to email me. What I'm going to be doing, it's all going to be multiple choice. Don't worry about the timing. It's going to be a take-home exam. I just want everybody to be able to, there's going to be questions on there. Look through the slides. Look through the videos. Everything is going to be on from the videos and the slides. And then, after that's all said and done with, we'll take it from there and we'll move forward. This is not going to be a comprehensive final. So the midterm will cover everything we've done up to this point, and then the final will cover just what we've covered in the second half of the semester. All right, well, everyone have a great day.